Hi guys, this is Neil from the Overclock magazine. Today I'm bringing you a review on the GeForce RTX 2080 Super from ASUS, more specifically the ROG STRIX 2080 RTX. Now, first thing that you'll notice that you should be able to see here is the back of this graphics card. It has the typical back plate that's used for either for aesthetic purposes, for cooling some components, or if it's just protecting some components on the PCB. There's not really much to say about that. What you do get at the back is the LED on-off switch. So this switch, you just hit it once and all the LED lights go off on the card. Now, one of the LED lights, or some of the LED lights that are on the card, include this ASUS motif. And right at the top here, obviously it's not on right now because it's in my hand, but there are some RGB LEDs here and they're all fully programmable, right? What else you have at the back of the card are these through holes here for measuring such things like vGPU, vMem, vPLL, and so forth. They are not labeled, so you'll have to poke around literally to find out what voltage you're actually reading. But it is good to have this thing here. In terms of PCB quality, I can't actually open this graphics card, but what I can tell you is that it uses a 10-phase vGPU power design and 2 phases for the memory. So obviously it's 12 phases in total. So when it comes to overclocking, I mean, we all know since Pascal days going to Maxwell and so forth, NVIDIA is generally speccing these GPUs at their maximum operatable clock speeds, or at least under ambient cooling. I mean, of course, if you add a GPU block to this, you can get a little bit higher boost clocks, or maintain higher boost clocks for a longer time. But for the most part, you're not really going to get much into that. Fortunately, we do have memory, which we can use to overclock. And on this graphics card, on this particular graphics card, I literally had the highest GDDR6 memory overclocking I've ever seen. Okay, so I've been testing this graphics card for a while, but I don't think there's any other graphics card I've come across that can do memory overclocks this high. So when I say high, I'm talking about 19 gigabits per second. So that translates into, I think, 1,749 megahertz more, 750 megahertz more on the GPU tweak slider, right? Or in fact, if you use Afterburner, you literally max out the slider before the card actually maxes out. And in that regard, you're gonna have to use GPU tweak because it allows for extensive or extended overclocking ranges. Finally, we get to the software part of this. Now, the new GPU Tweak 2 has a lot of functionality. So you get on-screen display where you can display FPS, what else can you display? Obviously GPU clock, memory clock, and all sorts of things like that. I don't think it's as comprehensive as what you can get when you use something like Afterburner or PWM in conjunction with RTSS, but it does the job, and I think for most people it should have everything covered. In terms of user interface, GPU Tweak is just not my thing. I think the colors don't work for me, and I think it's very busy, so it's not my cup of tea. I mean, I use it because it has the extended overclocking range, it has profiles and things like that, but in terms of what it actually looks like in its presentation, it leaves a lot to be desired. Last but not least, we finally get to the benchmarks. Now, obviously, this is what we've been looking forward to, and without further ado, I'll see you on the flip side. So there you have it, the performance, the features, and all of that good stuff. In terms of 2080 Super cards, I mean, I don't think it gets better than this. Yes, you are going to get the ones that are water cooled, have GPU blocks built in and so forth, but in terms of just actual everyday performance and living with the graphics card, this one is a real winner for me. When it comes to pricing is going to vary depending on where you're buying from, where you're situated, and so forth. I would recommend you try and find the cheapest pricing you can for this graphics card, even if it means just getting the one that doesn't have the overclock. Yeah, there you go. That's the ROG GeForce RTX 2080 Super graphics card review for you. Till next time, don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Take care and peace.